Hi, good morning all of you. In our previous class, we were discussing about what are direct proportion and inverse proportion. And I hope you understood what is direct proportion and what is inverse proportion. Now we can do some problems based on those topics. Okay. So from your textbook, page number 220, exercise 17.1, question number 8 I am discussing now. The length of shadow of a tower 100 meter high is 36 meter at a particular time. Find the height of an electric pole whose shadow is 9 meter long at the same time. So it's given two quantities you understood. One is the length of the original object and the other one is length of the shadow. So after reading the question you will make a table, isn't it, with these two quantities. So here shadow length, original length and shadow length. Okay, so these are the two quantities. While reading the question we understood these are the two quantities. And you need to fill this table with the given information. So we can take this as X quantity and this as Y quantity. Two quantities are given. And in the first case it's given the length of the shadow of a 100 meter high is 36 meter. So original length is 100 meter and its shadow length is 36 meter. This is one situation. And another situation is given. We need to find the height of an electric pole whose shadow is 9 meter. So shadow is given 9 meter, height is not given. You can mark it as X or X1, X2 also you can mark it. It's up to you. Just taking X only. Only one variable, that's why. So we need to find this height of this pole. So what type of proportion it is? Direct or inverse proportion? See, when the height of an object is increasing means the shadow also will be more, isn't it? Less height means the shadow will be less. Okay. So what type of proportion it is? It's direct proportion. When X increases, Y also increases. So this is direct proportion. So if direct proportion, what we will equate? The ratio we will equate. That means X by Y is a constant. X by Y is equal to K because it is direct proportion. What is it by X by Y equal to K? X by Y is giving always same quantity, constant. So 100 by 36, 100 by 36 is same as X by 9. You are getting a equation including X. Then you can solve for X. X is equal to 9 is coming to here. So 100 into 9 divided by 36. X we keeping in one side. 9 is taking into this side. So it will come 100 into 9. Then you can cancel common factor. 1 9s are 9. 4 9s are 36. Then 100 by 4 you will get it as 25. So we will get this value as 25. So our answer is 25 meter is the length of the electric pole. Okay, then next question, that means the question number 9 from your textbook. If the weight of 35 sheets of paper is 280 gram, how many sheets would weigh 7.2 kilogram? Okay, so here we need to focus this two quantities you understood. One is the weight of weight is given and the other one is number of sheets is given. Okay, 35 sheets of paper weight is 280 gram. And we need to find how many sheets of paper with weight 7.2 kilogram. Okay, so one quantity is in gram and other quantity is given in kilogram. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to make into same quantity only, otherwise that value will be changing. Okay, so here the two quantities you understood, number of sheets. One quantity is number of sheets and the other one is its weight. Okay. If it is 35 sheets, we are getting, it's given the height is 280 gram. So weight in gram only I am writing here. Unit should be same, otherwise we will get different answer. Okay, so if you are writing weight in gram, the next quantity also you have to write in gram itself. So we need to find how many sheets will be there with the weight 7.2 kilogram. 7.2 kilogram means 7200 gram. Okay, so 7200 is the value you need to write here. You don't write 7.2 here. If you are writing 7.2, it will read in gram only because 280 gram we have to. Otherwise, you need to write 0.28 kilogram. So better to convert into gram. You can avoid this decimal. Okay. Then now again you need to check, after drawing the table you need to think about this equation. What type of situation it is, what type of variation it is, what type of proportion it is. It is direct proportion. Okay. So means if the number of sheets increasing means weight also will increase. If the number of sheets less means weight also will be less. So one quantity increasing, the second quantity also increasing. These are the two quantities. This is x and this is y. X and y both are increasing and both are decreasing. Okay, then we will call it as direct proportion. Then see, if it is direct proportion, ratios we will equate. So we will write 35 by 280 is equal to x by 7200. Then we need to solve for x. X equal to 35 into 7200 divided by 280. Then you will do this calculation. 35 into 7200 divided by 280. 10 I cancel. 35 and 28 common factor 7 is there. So we can cancel 5 7s are 35. 4 7s are 28. 720 and 4 have common factor. 1 4s are 4. In 7 1 4s are 4. Balance 3 in 32. 8 4s are 32. Then 0. So 180 into 5 we need to do. 180 into 5, 0, 8 5s are 40, then 9. So we are getting it as 900. So how many sheets will be there? 900 sheets will be there. Okay, so final answer we need, right? Therefore the number of sheets is equal to 900. Next we can do another one question from exercise 17.2, question number 4. In this question it is given, if 125 workers can finish a job in 120 days. 125 workers will finish a job in 120 days. How many workers would complete the same job in 100 days? So while reading the question you understood which are the two quantities. One quantity is number of workers and the other quantity is number of days. So we will write the column number of days and number of workers. If you are writing first as number of workers also no problem, but two quantities just mention. So this we can take it as x quantity and this is y quantity. And it's given 125 workers. 125 workers. How many days they are taking? 120 days they are taking. And the second situation is, if they are taking 100 days, how many workers will be there? Okay, so one y is missing here. How many workers will be there? This is exercise 17.2, question number 4 I am explaining. Question number 4. Okay, and while reading the question, what you understood, what type of proportion it is? Direct proportion or inverse proportion? Of course, inverse proportion, right? Because if the number of workers are increasing means less number of days only required to finish the work. If the number of workers less means more days is required to finish the work, isn't it? So this is inverse proportion. For inverse proportion, what we will equate? Their products are equal. XY's are constant since it is inverse proportion. So we can write 120 into 125 is equal to 100 into y. Their products are equal. These two product and these two product. Then we can write y is equal to 120 into 125 divided by 100. Then we need to do that calculation. 120 into 125 divided by 100. 100 and 125, 25 you can cancel. 5 to 125, 4. Then 1 4s are 4, 3 4s are 12, 30, 3 5s are 15. So you are getting the answer 150 workers. 150 workers required if they are taking 100 days to finish the work in 100 days. More workers is required. 120 days 125 workers only required. For 100 days more workers required. So 150 workers required. Okay. So while reading a question you have to make the table first. After that you will think what type of proportion it is. Then you will find the missing value. That much only to do. One more question we can do. Question number 7 from the textbook. 8 pumps can empty a water tank in 42 hours. How many hours would 56 pumps take to do the same work? So you understood which are the two quantities. 8 pumps will empty the water tank in 42 hours, and how many hours 56 pumps will take? That is the question. So it's given two quantities. One is number of hours and the other one is number of pumps. Okay. So two quantities are the pumps and time. Hours. Two quantities. If more pumps is using means less hours only required. So you are understanding this is inverse proportion. To empty a water tank, if you are using less number of pumps, more hours is required. Isn't it? So one quantity increases, then the other quantity decreases. So here the situation is given. 8 pumps can empty the water tank in 42 hours. So 8 pumps in 42 hours. 42 hours. And the question asked, how many hours would 56 pumps take to do the same work? That means 56 pumps are there. Then how many hours? Y is missing. You are missing any letter you can substitute, no problem. Okay, missing quantity. So question is given, 8 pumps will finish the work in 42 or 42 hours, and the question asked us to find if you are using 56 pumps, how many hours is required. Your answer will be less than 42, right? Because it is inverse proportion. 8 pumps will do in 42 hours. If you are increasing this number, automatically this number will be reduced. Means the number of hours will be less. Less number of hours we can finish the work. So this inverse proportion. So xy we will equate. Isn't it? Xy is equal to a constant. That means 8 into 42 is equal to 56 into y. So y is equal to 8 into 42 divided by 56. Then you can do that calculation. 8 into 42 by 56. 1 8s are 8, 7 8s are 52, 56, 1 7 7 6. So we are getting the answer 6. 6 hours, within 6 hours we will finish the work. Okay. So like this questions you need to practice from the textbook. Okay. So that much only for today. Thank you.